projects and how he got into this, and then I'll turn it over to you and your questions. Like I said before, maybe we'll do a line, maybe we'll just go around, we'll figure that out as we go along. Just remember the guidelines, one question at a time, no requests for like line readings, character voices, high fives, all that stuff, and we're gonna have some fun for 40 minutes. So, if you're ready for this, please welcome, he is an actor and musician whose immense body of work includes, but not limited to, Persona 4, Bioshock Infinite, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and The Last of Us. Across several projects, he has given voice to fan-favorite characters such as Loki, Hawkeye, Batman, Jason Todd, and the Joker. Please welcome Troy Baker!
Oh man, I was waiting if I could sit down while you were still clapping. Hold on. Use the second one. The second one's better.
That's it, I'll make that notation. Hey, welcome to Jacksonville.
I am so happy to be here.
We're so glad to have you here.
Pleasantries done. After a rousing start. I've never been. You have a river. Saw that. So I don't really get a chance to see much of the city. Like, what do you think of our city? I was like, well, the short quarter mile from the hotel to the convention center is riveting. Saw a couple of dumpsters. So yeah, what should I do here? Oh, yeah, so you don't even know. What? The zoo?
Zoo.
He's like,
There's
party.
Manatee at the zoo?
St. Augustine, go to St. Augustine.
Oh, Manatee exists. Okay.
Is that what we're calling them? Wasn't there a comedian that said, should we just lump everything, manatee, sea lions, seals, same thing? One animal.
The best thing to do here is to drive to a nearby city and do something better.
It's your mayor. Just don't do it.
Don't look at me, I'm from Orlando, so.
How far away is it?
About a 2-hour drive.
I can make it.
All right. No, you're here. Once you're here, you're taking to the table. No, but yeah, I feel that too. Because people are always like, oh, must be nice to travel. I'm like, dude, I see the airport, I see the hotel, and I see the convention center.
Yeah.
Maybe on Monday I'll try to get a late flight, check out a local museum or some local
Chili's.
Yeah. Applebee's.
Applebee's. Yeah. Applebee's is done, right? Isn't Applebee's over? This is not the panel you signed up for, is it? This is the guy from The Last of Us, right? So, what are you talking about? Applebee's and manatees. That's right. You have questions?
Well, if Applebee's served manatee, they'd still be in business.
Maybe. What? You haven't tried it? It can be delicious. Barbecue sauce, little ranch. No, it's good. You don't know if I'm lying or not, do you? Maybe I've had manatee. We're gonna keep you engaged. Don't worry. No. Sit down.
All right. Okay. Whenever I have a solo guest, okay, let's do the origin.
I'm married.
What's that?
I'm married.
Oh, okay. Whenever I have.
Did you get the joke? It was a joke.
Whenever I have a partnered solo guest, what's the origin story? How did you? What drew you into becoming a performer, and how'd you fall into this?
Oh my God. Well, my parole officer was. Thank you.
Gave you a couple of choices.
I stole that from Nolan, to be honest with you. He got a bigger laugh. I've always been doing this my whole life. My first stage was our fireplace in our living room. I just was like, oh, that. For some reason, feel drawn to be higher than everyone else. And then eventually, just more people started putting things in front of me. They started putting microphones and stages and money. And I just never stopped. And I thought that I was going to be a musician. I mean, still am, but I thought that was going to be my stock and trade. And no. And so I decided to, wise up, be sensible, and become an actor instead. Something with job stability. And I just never looked back. And it's so weird because I bet you if you ask Roger or Fred or anybody else that's here, they still feel like they just got started. They feel like, I feel like I'm just now ready to begin. And I always feel this way in a micro way when we wrap on a project, I'm like, okay, let's start. Now I know what I'm doing. I felt that way especially on, The Last of Us. I was like, if I could go back now and do it all over again. It's funny that that's one of the lines that Joel says in The Last of Us Part 2, is like, if I had a second chance, I would do it all over again. Not that I would do anything different, I just feel like I could do it better. And some of my work that people I'm most known for, I'm like, oh man, I feel like yep, that's me. Sorry, I'm Uber. Yeah, in a minute. I feel like my best work is ahead of me, not behind me. And I'm grateful for everything that I've done. But this has been a constant iteration on previous processes that has led me, hopefully, to a better one that I can apply to the future job. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was.
We'll use it.
Was there ever a point where you were pivoting? Was there ever a point where you realized, okay, I'm really in this now with both feet? Was there a project or just a moment where you woke up one day and you realized, this is now the direction I'm going in?
I don't know how to do one foot. I do all of it, sometimes to my own detriment. Like I've been like, almost every job. But I definitely remember there was a singular moment. I've talked about this a lot if you've heard me do panels or interviews before. I was on my balcony in my apartment in North Hollywood that overlooked another balcony in an apartment in North Hollywood.
Because that's the way Hollywood is.
That's the way North Hollywood is. Yeah. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I just had this epiphany. I was like, oh, it's not about getting a job. Go dinner, please. Everybody heard that too. That's not just in my head. Just making sure, because otherwise, that was a really weird moment for you guys.
Censors the idea of leadership in the sector. Yeah.
That was left out. But I thought to myself, I was like, oh, everybody's talking about how to get a job, and this isn't a job. Nobody calls in sick to their career. You call in sick to your job. Nobody quits their career. You quit your job. Nobody hates their career. They hate their job. And so I started looking at this, I was like, well, this is a career. And the difference between a job and a career is I do this so that I can hopefully do something else. Or I'm just trying to accumulate all these jobs. I'm like, no, a career is something that you curate and that you spend time on. And I look at it like a garden. And it's, maybe right now I'm doing tomatoes because that's what I can grow. But then eventually there's a time where it's like the ground won't yield tomatoes anymore. So I can sit there and I can get mad at the ground and I can strike and I can blame the earth for not yielding the fruit that I want. Or I can do squash and I can do something different. And it's not the ground's responsibility to yield fruit. It's my responsibility to take care of the earth and to plant and to curate my garden. That's my job. So that's what I focus on instead. But that was the singular moment that I did that. And subsequently, it cost me a lot because I had to look at my agent. My agent was like, don't say no to jobs. You should never say no to a job. I'm like, you said jobs. I want a career. And they were very, very surprised when I was like, so I'm out. And I found a team around me that was like-minded as far as like, all right, let's get in the gardening business. And I've never looked back since. Cool. Oh yeah, sweet. Thank you. Go Cal.
I really love the fact that you go with this positivity of the best is yet to come. What's, in your opinion, what's been the best so far?
Hopefully the job that I did yesterday. You know what I mean? Somebody asked me, you're gonna ask me, but maybe this is a question, what's your favorite role? And I will say the one that I'm working on right now. It has to be, and that changes on a daily basis. There was a job that I was doing the other day that is a one and done. It's a feature, and it's not a particularly well-paying job. It's a small indie, but I did another small indie, and look at what happened with that. I love Mark so much. If you guys could know, I will never stop lifting him up because that guy is one of the most fervently passionate. I mean, his work ethic is second to none. tell you this. You know what I'm talking about, Iron Lung, right? Mark, okay, great. So we do the movie, Mark works on this thing for 2 years, and he goes, hey, are you in LA on this date? I was like, yeah. He goes, I have a reshoot, are you by any chance available to come on a Saturday? I'm like, brother, I am there. So I show up at his studio, they've done a full set rebuild, and they're doing a massive, massive reshoot with VFX, multiple actors, multiple camera angles, and it looks awesome. And I go, when are you done? He goes, well, the premiere is Thursday. You know how films work? I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah. He goes, I was like, what are you doing? He goes, well, we're gonna wrap here and I'm gonna go to the editing bay over there. Kept cutting his movie. That's not a model. You know what I mean? That's just someone, it's like, it's lightning in a bottle. You can't formulate that. And I know for sure he won't do the second movie the same way. But, what was the question? No. My favorite thing is to work on something that in that moment I feel like I can help that creator elevate it a little bit. It's not all about me. It can't be, I shouldn't just be looking for vehicles for me, because that's a pretty one-sided, very solipsistic way to live life. What I'm trying to do is go, hey, am I a solution for you? I looked at myself as a problem solver for the longest time, and then I realized that meant that I was constantly looking at your things and trying to find a problem. And I'm like, I'm not a problem solver. I'm a solution. A solution. May not be the solution. So my job is to come in and go, can I help you make your thing better? If I can't, I'm gonna step out of the way. I'm gonna let somebody else come in. But if I am a solution, look out. Look out, because you gotta keep up with me now. Sure. Oh, just wait till we get to your questions.
If you write your own ticket, what would be the dream gig?
Man, so here's what I'm passionate about right now. I believe that there's a lot of people look at video games and go, that's a stepping stone. And Nolan North, when he did this, he was like, these are the jobs that, no one's doing this, and I can do this while, my TV and film career starts to take off. And then, oops, found himself becoming an icon in the business. I look at games and Jesus? I did a job, I was playing a show one time as a musician, and I put my mouth, don't read into this. We're singers, we put our lips on a microphone, and it wasn't grounded, and everybody saw my entire mouth light up like an X-ray. And I kept singing, I was like, hey. The guitarist like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know, man, let's just finish the song. So I'm not scared of no pop.
Spinal Tap drummer.
I spontaneously ghosted. The dream gig for me is I look at video games and I go, this is where the arrow has been pointing as far as the evolution of storytelling. Everyone in this room, you may have heard me say this, and I never want to pass up an opportunity to tell you. Everyone in this room, if you don't know what your purpose is, it's very, very easy. I heard someone say earlier, there is no inherent meaning of life. People spend their entire life searching for the meaning of life. Let me tell you, there is no inherent meaning to life. You choose. You choose to give your life meaning. No one else can do it for you. And if you're looking for that, you will come up empty. You get to choose what your life means. Now, it's a huge challenge. How meaningful will your life be? So, yeah. I look at this way. That's also bad. Or better said, yes.
I choose.
I'm not gonna start drinking. So, all of us are storytellers. Every single one of us in this room. All of us. Genetically predisposed towards storytelling. So if you go, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, great, start from there. You're a storyteller. How do you choose to tell your story? Some people here are artists, some people here are accountants. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're still telling your story. It's the reason why we created language in the first place, was to be able, for me to tell you what my experience was. holy crap, you're never gonna believe this woolly mammoth that I just killed. We created language so that we could tell that. And then we started drawing it. And then we started putting it on a stage. And then we started writing it down. And then we started putting that on a different stage. And then we started putting that on a screen. And then we handed a controller to you and go, here's the story that I want to tell. So this is what games to me have always been, is this evolution of storytelling. So I'm very passionate about games. I also believe that the best games are ones that are somehow rooted in empathy, to where, how can I make you feel something for something you never thought you would care about before? How can I tell one story from this perspective and the same story from this perspective? Last was part 2. Can I make you hate the one you love and love the one you hate? Brilliant. That's the dream gig. So that's what I'm doing now, is finding, I've helped a lot of people tell their stories. I'm ready for people to help me tell mine. That's what I'm passionate about.
Mystery. Okay, and I always like throwing this one out at the end. What's been the craziest moment you've had in the booth?
Right now. Oh, in the booth. I don't know, man. There's a lot of them. Just trying to choose a single one. Looking down on a page and seeing, Hideo Kojima is right there, and not in this room, guys. Sorry, you never know. And looking down and seeing the words, "You're pretty good," and I go, was pretty awesome. There have been some really. Here's one that comes to mind. So we're working on Indiana Jones, and the line is, "Hello, Amron." And everyone remembers, that's my favorite line. It's not. Silk Song, dude, you destroyed me until I decided to, turn around, look. Amazing cosplay, by the way. Really, really good. Your game is so freaking hard. Big holiday fan. Jesus. The line was "Hello, Amron," and I go, why am I saying this? And Tom Keegan, who's the performance director on that, and we've been working together for years at this point, goes, "God damn it, Troy, just say the line." I'm like, "Why am I saying it?" I said, what just happened the moment before this? And he goes, "Well, what just happened?" And the narrative designer comes in, he goes, "Well, just before this, you almost escaped from the temple." I was like, "Okay, was it easy?" He goes, "Oh no, you barely escaped with your life." "Oh, okay, that just happened?" "Yeah, that just happened." "Was anybody with me, or was I by myself?" "Oh, no, someone was with you." It's like, "Who was with me?" And they go, "Amron." It's like, oh. So the moment that just preceded this, Amron and I barely escaped with our life, and we go into, off a cinematic into gameplay, and my first line is, "Hello, Amron." They're like, "What would you like to say?" I was like, "That was nuts, wasn't it? Are you okay? How did you get in front of me?" There's like a myriad of other things. And so I always ask these pesky questions. And the reason why I do is because I'm not afraid of someone, I'm not afraid of what anyone thinks. I don't care. And if I have a question, I'm not afraid of looking dumb, first of all. I'm only gonna look dumb if I don't ask the question that I really should ask. But everybody knows that I care. If I'm on that job, again, you better care about it as much as I do. Because if I care about your game or your project more than you do, look out, I'll take it over. Yep. So those are my favorite moments, is when we go, oh, maybe we shouldn't say "Hello, Amron."
Well, kudos to you for having the temerity to do that and to stick by your instincts, and even more so for a Lucasfilm project.
Dude, there were a lot of questions where I was like, "Can we do this?" And they were like, "We just need to call 50 people real quick to ask." It was like, I understand.
I dabbled with a little work, and I just had a low line correction. I may have voiced a certain gold protocol droid whose name will not be necessary, and they were like, "Oh, the Ewoks worship me as a god." And I was like, "You sure you mean god?" In the movie, he says deity. And then they got real silent.
hello.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh,
Your camera's
boy.
off, I can't tell.
Boy, I think I just stepped in it. And there was that uncomfortable pause for about 45 seconds, and then, okay, go ahead and say Dandy.
You're like Harrison Ford is like, George, you sure can write it, but you sure can't say it. Just like, again, temerity is a great word. The second that it ever comes across as I'm making sure, this is where I've made mistakes. When I am trying to make sure that I don't look like an idiot, and I'm afraid of how I will look, those suggestions always smell of disparity and desperation. And it's not about, oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna look bad, because guess what? We do. Tawny Plattis just started a podcast. If you're not following her, she's great. And she just posted this thing about how so many people, the main reason why people who do voice acting or whatever will be afraid to go into it has nothing to do with AI. It has everything to do with we're afraid of how we look. And she just did this mashup of all the people that are in the booth looking like absolute idiots. And guess what?
We were talking in the last panel about how Julie Kavanaugh, the voice of Marge Simpson, refuses to be filmed as she does the voice because she does some kind of physical contortion to get the voice of Marge that she's terribly embarrassed of.
And you know, if that's your process, if that's what you need, so be it.
Yeah.
But you cannot be afraid. It was Peter O'Toole that said the unobserved actor. That's where you should do the work. You'll go out in front of people, whether it be on a stage or in front of a camera, and you will do it. But first, you do it where no one else is watching, and you get all of your weirdness out. And to where you go, oh, okay, I feel comfortable. If you can't show up, one of my favorite stories, Treat Williams, when he was on, he had already done the role, I can't remember his character's name in Hair, on Broadway for like years. And he was now having to audition for the same role for the movie. And he did like 12 auditions. And he came in to his final one. He didn't know it was his final one. He started singing a song and taking his clothes off. And to where by the end, he was standing there naked. He goes, I literally have nothing else to show you. And walked out. And they were like, bring it back in, that's it. That's what I needed to see. So that's what this job requires. It is not about the fame, the glitz, the glamour. It is nothing to do with popularity. People will hate you, and they'll love you. You cannot be blown by every wind and wave of the whim of the mob. But if you're down for some crazy, if you are down for exploring parts of yourself that you may be afraid of, man, what a job. Or even better, what a career. I see your hand there. You're gonna get It's so funny. It's really, really good. It was just nothing. What's on your mind?
I'm about to say, thanks for indulging my capricious curiosity. I'm gonna jump out there and take some theirs.
Sweet. He gets to choose.
Well, sorry, I'll just take hands. I'll go around to people, and if there's somebody particular you want me to hit, then
Sure.
say, go to the guy over there. So, all right, so I'll take these two up front here. Hey, what's your name?
Jason?
What you got?
I was wondering from when you were doing the first Last of Us,
Yeah.
because you nailed the father role and the protective role from the very first scene with Sarah. What was the inspiration of people from your life that you drew for that parental role? Like, what were you thinking of? And just what were like the memories you sort of thought of to tune in?
Boy, right out of the gate. I think that, first of all, I really have to give a lot of credit to Neil. Neil was the dad. I wasn't. And a lot of what I was drawing from were models. And that doesn't necessarily mean the models that I had. It was very much the model that I wanted, but I didn't have. I remember this one specific scene, it's very, very early on, where right at the very beginning, when Sarah, right after you shoot the neighbor, and he goes, we have to go. And he goes, there's a way that you talk to your child when you're not mad at them, but you have to impart, and now I know what he's talking about, but then I didn't. And it's one of the few moments where I saw Neil just go, okay, And he knew that he had to settle for what I could give him versus the version of the scene that he had in his head. It's because you just can't fake that. There is something that, I'm not quoting Harrison Ford again, but him telling Ridley Scott, he goes, of course Deckard is a human, because he can't be a replicant, because I've never experienced that, and I can't play replicant, I can only play human. I couldn't play father in that moment, because I didn't know what it felt like. There's a lot of people that have come up to me since The Last of Us came out and said how much of a father figure Joel has been to them. And I think about Joel, and I think about how Joel would never consider himself a father figure. If anything, he would consider himself someone who failed to be a model of what a dad should be. But that's what makes him such a great dad, is that he spent every day that he could making up for his mistakes. So that's the kind of dad that I'm trying to be. And there's something that my son has heard me say countless times that I never heard my dad say. And that's, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Can you forgive me? I'm going to work on being better. Because if I can model that for him, there will be a day when he will be a dad, and he'll look at his kid, and he'll be able to say, I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? Let's work on that together. So I'm learning about Joel even now. And Joel is still as much of an influence on me now as he was then. And that to me is us making a great character. There's a lot of talk of adaptations, and people go, you know, I think you should have played Joel in the show. I'm like, no. First of all, Pedro's amazing. Second of all, I hope Pedro's not the last person to play Joel. I hope that we have created a character that will transcend even two performers, and that there could be, the next Joel is in this room, and that we see Joel on stage and in literature and in other games and in movies and in shows. That this is a character that has been iterated on and will be iterated on for decades or centuries. That will mean that we created a character that was truly worth what I think Joel is worth. Cool, my pleasure. Thank you.
Go around, I'll come back to your question. All right, I'll take. Hey, what's your name? What you got?
Would you like my real name or what?
Well, give us. Don't be that guy. Give us a name. What's your name?
Okay, fine, Rodrigo. So, if we may go on a bit of a more personal level here, if I may ask, what is one thing that you have always wanted to try, always wanted to accomplish, but never had the chance to do so?
Heroin.
Thank you for that question. Who's got another one?
Something I always wanted to try, always wanted to accomplish. Man, that is literally the premise of every project that I jump on board. It's like, if it's something that I've done before, I will typically say no. There's a lot of people that are like, I mean, so this is a grizzled survivor, and it's a post-punk. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop you there. I've done that. I don't want to see me do that again. I want to see someone else do it, their take on that. So what I'm always drawn to is like, what is the one thing that I've never done before? Directing. There's a reason why I was like, I think that I've learned some stuff that I can apply, and if I've been a really bad actor with a really good director, and if I can be that for somebody else, then I want to do the same thing. I want to be a really good director for someone who's really, really wanting to be a better actor. One of my favorite quotes was from David Bowie when he said, when I've swum far enough away from shore, where my feet are barely touching and the water is just below my nose, that's when I do my best work. So the answer to your question is, every job is that. What have I not done? What do I really want to accomplish? That's what I'm going after with fervor. Okay. And maybe heroin. Totally joking.
Hey, what's your name? What you got?
Hi, my name is Erica. What advice can you give to someone that is inspiring to be a voice actor?
Stop using that word. What is going to change? What is it going to take for you to accept who you want to be? That word is a word that you use to qualify yourself, to let the other voice, besides the one that's inside of you, be just a little bit louder. You're not aspiring. You are. Congratulations. The only thing that will change is that somebody will give you money. And if that is your validation, let me tell you something. That is the wrong metric to use. Because there will be times when you feel like you should be owed more or that you got too much. And it's just the worst. There cannot be external validation to tell you who you are. You're a storyteller. Somebody's going to give you the opportunity to tell a story by means of using only your voice. But you can do that right now. You don't have to wait for someone to put a camera or a microphone in front of your face and, for God's sake, a paycheck. You are who you are right now, and you are who you are always been. I can look at my son and go, same kid. Same kid when he was little, just potato, just a boom. Same kid. And you came fully packaged. All you've been doing, and your parents have been doing your entire life is unpacking. That's it. You came completely complete. Nobody in here is missing anything. Anything. We go through life and we start adding on all of these things. There's a lot of people that will very readily accept a name and think that's now a part of their identity. You already had one. You weren't missing another name. That's not what it is. There's this great book called I Am That, and it's by this guru named Nasgaradatta, and he said that basically, to be a very, very reductive way of saying it, true identity can only be achieved through negation. I am not Troy Baker, I'm not an actor, I'm not a man, I'm not a human. Start peeling away all of these things. I am that. So when you start adding on another word, another adjective, I'm an aspiring. No, you are. Just start walking in it. And don't be afraid of what people think. Dig? Go get it, girl. Hey, what's your name? I'm on fire! Let's go!
My name is Layla. And
Hi, Lily.
I don't know if you get this question a lot,
Probably.
but most likely. Of
But
course-
never from you.
Exactly. So nice to meet you.
Mm.
I'm gonna ask a question about The Last of Us.
Okay.
Like, what scene from the first and second game you have with Ashley that was emotionally like deep towards you and that would be hard to do again?
Every single one of them. I'm no bullshit. Every single one of them. There's not a chance in hell that Neil wanted to, I think there was an idea where he wanted to do the Sarah death scene when we did the One Night Live. And I was like, please don't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it again. There's, especially now as a dad, not a chance. Not a chance. And that is a credit to the Meryl Streeps and everybody else who can do those kind of scenes. I'm like, nope, I've done it. I've jumped out of a plane twice, 3 times. And I would do that again before I would do those scenes in The Last of Us. First of all, because I believe in what the team did and the version about those scenes that they did. If I want to, there's scenes that we're shooting right now. I had dinner with Neil about a month ago. And I was like, hey, there's a scene that I want to reshoot. The irony, he goes, no. I'm like, why? He goes, because we've already shot it. It's good enough. Let's move on. And the only reason why I would want to reshoot something is because my ego. And I think that I could do better. But I'm not on that end of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here on the assembly line. It's someone further down, meaning it stops with you. It starts with the audience, right? So I can't go, oh, it's not good enough. It's like, you don't know yet. Put it in front of an audience. And how do they feel? Do they feel something? So I look at those scenes and I go, they're so good. I'll be honest with you. There's some scenes from the show. Woof. There's this thing that Pedro did in part 1 or season 1 where when Tess goes to show him where she's bit, he flinches, and I was like, you son of a bitch, it's so good, it's such a great choice. And it was instinctual, it wasn't, he flinches, it wasn't in the script. Craig didn't tell him to do that. That's something Pedro brought to the role. And I'm like, man, I learned something about Joel through that one small choice. But there's scenes that I go back and I watch from the game, and I'm like, man, we did good work. Like it really lands. So yeah, I would say that every single one of them was born out of not only Ashley and I's heart. We left everything on the table. Like there was not a single day that we left going, I still got something left in the tank. We were exhausted. Wonderfully, wonderfully exhausted. It cost us something every day. But I wouldn't change a thing. Great question, Layla. Thank you.
Patty, where you at?
We now go live
What's
to
your name?
Patty on the street. Patty?
All right, we got a little over here. Hey, what's your name?
Sheraton. What you got? So my question is a little less serious. What's your favorite song of like all time ever?
Oh, good. Ooh. Or how about one of your favorites? I always tap over that.
What's gonna go through the Rolodex in my head?
Sure.
Dude, this is so bad. This is not my answer, but this is where I don't care what you think. If you could literally put Coldplay's "Fix You" under any circumstance, and I'll cry. I don't care. You have a guy walking into McDonald's, he's like, "Can I take your order?" Come on. Chicken nuggets with barbecue sauce. Cheers, dream. I'm like, it's so good. Oh,
We're at a barbecue. Would you like sweet and sour?
Here's one of my favorite pieces of music, and it's by someone that I for years thought that I hated, and I was like, dude, it's like, and then I was on my honeymoon, and I was sitting on this balcony of the hotel that we were at. We were in Rome, and I was just looking out and letting, you ever like, at the time, like, let your at the time it was my iPod, but you're just let your phone DJ for you, just take over. And I did that, and I went to this whole playlist, and I started listening. I was like, oh my God, and I hear this aria by this soprano, and it's going back and forth between what this aria does and this single violin. And I just I'm looking out over a sleeping Rome, and I'm just weeping. And I was like, what is this? And I look, and it's St. Matthew's Passion, Erbarme dich, by Johann Sebastian Bach. And I was like, I was wrong. I thought that I hated Bach, and now it's literally one of my favorite, like, it's kind of one of those things where, hey, when I go, will you play this? Oh. And it's one of the most beautiful pieces of music that I've ever heard. So it taught me to be surprised by the things that you think you don't like, the things that you think you know about, but you really, really don't, because in a single moment, that thing can move you if it finds you in just the right way, just the right time, and just the right place. Always be open. There is still so much wonder and amazement in the world. You just have to sift through the fear to find it. Yep. Cool?
What's coming up project-wise that you may be allowed to share with us?
There's a lot that's coming out. So we just dropped a game called Screamer. If you're see you, my friend, by Rodrigo, if that is your real name. We'll never know. He's the most mysterious person in here. We just turn, it's like, poof, it's gone. Screamer just dropped, great studio. It's a reboot of an old 90s racing game, but they really done a great job of giving it not only some really cool mechanics, but also an amazing story. Alex Lee is in it, he's brilliant. I'm in it, there's an entire amazing cast that speaks in their own language. So if they're Japanese, they speak Japanese. If they're French, they speak French. And it's just a really, really, the concept of the game is great and it plays amazing. If you're a racing fan, awesome. So that just dropped 2 days ago. Reviews are great so far. There's another game that's coming out, it's called Mouse PI for Hire. Yes, okay, cool. I cannot wait, it is so much fun. It's April 16th is launch date, and that team has been working their ass off on that game, and it is one of the most polished games I've seen in a long time. And I get to play Jack Peppa, which is gonna be so much fun. I think you're gonna have an absolute blast. And then soon we'll have the latest offering from a very up-and-coming studio called Naughty Dog with Intergalactic. So you haven't seen the last of me yet. I should be back at the table, yeah. Come find me.
And one final question.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a picture with this awesome audience?
I would be honored to take a picture.
All right, everybody, come on up towards the stage. Not on the stage. Come on up towards the stage, take a picture of our guest and all of you. Like I said, he'll be heading back to his table after all this. And thank you all for these fabulous questions he threw at us.